Greetings, beloved, multiversal soul familia, and welcome back. Hello, hello, beloveds. Does anyone else have like a favorite shirt that they have just held on to for like years and years? Or maybe like a favorite t shirt or even undergarments or socks or just like that one thing clothing wise that you just can't seem to let go of? Or is it just me? I don't know. Let me know whenever is placed on your heart. And feel free to share whenever you hear this. Beloveds, I'm feeling guided to go into a love session for the collective. I'm really feeling it in the atmosphere and extremely high vibrational, so why not just kick it even more into high gear? Starting here. I thought ahead this time and made sure that the charcoal is already burning. We're going to bring in some frankincense for the moment. And we are going to say a quick prayer command. O infinite creator, source of all that is, was, and will ever be, I stand in your divine authority, commanding in alignment with your perfect will. By the power of divine law, I now open my life to abundant security, stability, and protection. No weapons formed against us shall prosper. Every curse, every evil eye, every ill wish, every case, cause, and concern dissolves into nothingness by the radiance of your light. We command true prosperity to flow into our lives, prosperity that nourishes our souls, sustains our bodies, and blesses all who walk with us. Wealth and resources are now aligned to our highest purpose. We command good fortune to follow us in all things. Doors of opportunity open before us effortlessly, and every step we take is guided by the divine. We call forth true love, divinely ordained, harmonious, and eternal. Our hearts and souls are aligned to receive and give love in its purest, most sacred form. May our paths be illuminated, our spirits fortified, and our lives a testament to the boundless grace of our Creator. So it is, so it is, so it is. Source was like, okay, let's wrap it up. And 333 on the timer as I began saying that. Yes. And we have the frankincense burning pretty darn good now. But not so much that it's going to choke me out. My goodness. To get started, beloveds, we are going to go into this customized bicycle deck, and apparently that card wanted to take front and center along with those, so I'm just going to stop right there and go into what we have. We have, coming into the collective's environment in terms of love, we have the Ace of Wands, literally meaning new love, sparks of inspiration, passion, even ideas for your vocations. Every bit of it being divinely ordained and life-changing, beloveds. With that, we have the Three of Swords, but it is in reverse. So, this is putting an end to the riffraff. Communication more clear and concise, and reducing the chance of misunderstandings. With the King of Wands, someone taking the lead to some degree in the situation because they are now seeing the bigger picture, but not the lead over others. It's like divine authority over one's own soul and one's own life and one's own divine mission. Our soul's purpose, beloveds. Calling back our energy and taking back that spiritual authority. But also involving love. Love of your vocation, romance, and we're going heavy on all of it today, beloveds. We're going heavy. So this may be a good time for you to grab some refreshments because this is going to be a long one. Again, I'm extremely high vibrational right now, and the first thing that comes to mind when I feel this way is to go into that servant-driven heart center and do what I do best. Delivering these messages in sessions, high vibrationally, uplifting, and elevating others with a positive feedback loop. Yep, time to stoke the palo here for a little bit more clear, concise communication. Now that we understand that we have all the tools and materials necessary to do so, especially beloveds, calling back our energy, shielding up, practicing those Kelonic science techniques. Get your Merkaba up. Get your water in. Get those electrolyte codes in, beloveds. Yes. Speaking of, my featured beverage of this morning is actually aloe water with fresh orange slices. Nothing more and nothing less, beloveds. And let me tell you, it is a number one, prima. Absolutely delicious. Yes. Moving along. Here we go. Now we're taking a look here at the Ten of Wands in reverse. So to me, this is like no longer being the only one bearing all of the responsibility. And I'm saying that because there is victory right next to it. And we all know that no true victory ever involves a one-man band. Like, there is always some kind of other stimuli involved. In this case, it's connections and interactions with others involving love of some kind. No longer feeling weighed down and burdened by the baggage that the collective once carried here. Passing the test with that Six of Wands. All cases, causes, and concerns dissolved. That is what the Six of Wands stands for. And right next to that, we have the Queen of Swords, standing in our truth, beloveds. Not only are we standing in our truth, but we no longer tolerate indecisiveness, even what was once our own. We are wielding the sword of truth in feminine form, so with grace and care. Although that's more typically assigned to the Queen of Pentacles, which is actually directly below the Queen of Swords. So this tells me that this is an enmeshment of energy here. This is the collective, along with some masculine notes from the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. We also have divine counterparts right here side by side, but we will go over that in just a moment so that we don't get off track of what is before that. Standing in our truth, so much so that it's leading us in a new direction in life with this Seven of Pentacles, which involves these divine counterparts right here, this King and Queen of Pentacles. He being the one to take more of the lead in the mundane world, but also leading the way a man would lead within a family dynamic. And the queen, the counterpart here, the divine counterpart, is mirroring that, but with more of that feminine, motherly touch. The homemaker, the home builder, the beauty maker. And we're not talking about the superficial kind here at all. Not at all. Especially with this Eight of Hearts right here. This is confirmation of that whole new direction in life that came in with the Seven of Pentacles. So this is Cups, the Eight of Cups. Leaving behind pretty much everything the collective ever knew. Leaving behind the old. But there's also this reminder to not throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, some traditions are not necessarily meant to be completely expelled. And I'm going to give you an example. It's known in every culture that both men and women are leaders to some degree, but men lead differently than women do. Situationally. It doesn't take away from the clear and evident essence that they are mirroring each other. They are equals. They met their match. They're meeting their match. And this Queen of Pentacles also carries the energy of this Queen of Swords. The truth bearer, standing in their truth. But I'm getting that both of these counterparts are standing in their truth. And taking on a whole new direction with it. This is a major paradigm shift. A partial eclipse of the heart, so to speak. Especially with like the shadow of the spade or the sword, with the light of the pentacle, which would typically be a coin, a shiny bright coin. But we're not chasing coins here, beloveds, because these cards do not only represent material relationships and needs and connections. It also represents spiritual energy and connections, divine connections here. Absolutely. And some of the collective may have had to recently go through a split up, or will be going through a split up, to divert their attention away from these old ways and dynamics that no longer serve for the greater good on your soul's mission, because it's um like I said yesterday, it's like we've already made it through the obstacle of the humble river. We're moving on to much bigger waters now, beloveds. Yes. So figuratively, but also metaphorically, metaphysically, on a quantum level. When I see hearts and I see cups, that's my first interpretation, is quantum energy. Nothing on this planet can exist without water to some density of some kind. It's like living water, though, like a plasmic, crystalline plasmic silicate dynamic. We'll just leave it alone from there. And with new upgrades also come new challenges. But we've made it this far, beloveds. There's no reason to stop now, especially passing all the tests. Doing it doing it right for yourself and what's best for you. God protocol. God protocol. Yes, behind the scenes, we have the Three of Pentacles. Collaborations. Working together to hone in on your skills. Working together. And it also represents being mission focused. Let's keep going. Right behind that, we have the Two of Pentacles, managing time, energy, resources all together. Much better. Much better. Yes, right behind that, we have the King of Hearts, the King of Cups. This is also someone who is well versed. This is the gentle warrior right here. And I'm getting that this energy in particular represents the entire collective as well, as part of the collective energy. Alright, we're going to do one more full pass with this deck. The Eight of Pentacles. Improved skill set. Improved knowledge. Improved insight. Like, the collective has really been putting in the work, the legwork, to just know thyself, but also awareness being top priority, knowing the surroundings as well. So this is telling me that with that kind of focus, even though I said behind the scenes, with this collaboration, it doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't aware of it. It just means that it's hush hush for the time being. It's sub rosa. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords, which is the sword of truth. Deeper insights, new insights, divinely orchestrated realizations, revelations, and deeper understandings. and even ideas coming in. The more we know ourselves, the deeper and richer the rest of the package gets, beloveds. Yes, especially with this wild card coming out, the Joker, very much so an indication that we are returning to innocence in a sense where 2025 is a year of fully embracing our child self, but also knowing ourselves well enough to understand that we had to grow up in some kind of way in order to be able to fully embrace that child self again. To fully embrace joy and happiness and all these other power states of being, which also includes positive risk taking in relationships and in vocation. 2112. 2112 on the timer, beloveds. Let's take a look at this angel number. I know this one comes out a lot, but look, this never gets old. And we are going to be looking into this number in a little bit of a different manifestation at this time, because this session is all about love, all ways, shapes, and forms. In love and relationships, representing balance and harmony, suggesting the need to have a balanced approach to relationships and create harmony between you and your partner. Also symbolizing the journey of finding your soulmate or deepening your current relationships. There's more, and we are definitely going to go into more in terms of love. Always keep the faith. A balanced and stable life that will make your partner feel appreciated. A bona fide bonding moment with the love of your life. So, this is where we're also being cautioned to not allow our professional lives to hinder our personal. Ensuring that we spend as much time as possible with our loved ones, engaging with our loved ones. I'm hearing even when they are not present. Working out our issues. Getting rid of the negative vibes. Being more open now to share emotions and feelings with loved ones. Appreciation. Believe in the power of love and what great changes it can make in your life. Love is the greatest gift of them all, and you should appreciate that it is present or becoming present in your life. Ensure that your partner feels loved and appreciated every step of the way. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I don't see a twin flame message for this number, but it is a mirroring number, so it's already giving like that divine counterpart, mirroring one another type of energy regardless. Oh my gosh. And even more so behind the scenes, we have the Six of Cups. Nostalgia, childhood memories, old love, or a twin ray returning. As you're mirroring each other, you're both revisiting the past at the same time. And it's like you're only grasping for the golden nuggets this time. All the other parts are like just dark matter that don't matter, is what I just heard. Yes, right behind that we have the Ace of Pentacles. New projects, gifts, a new vocation, or the expansion on your vocation. And even for some of the collective, a new home. And right behind that, we have the fourth ace, all four aces on the table. Feeling guided to stop with this deck there, beloveds. New love and the start of deeper connections. New. It doesn't get any better than this, except for the fact that there is also divine counterparts on the table. New, beloveds. Let's move along and take a look at who, what, when, where, and how of this. Feeling guided to kind of clear this out of the way, because there isn't going to be any need to refer to this particular energy at this time. So we can have space for the Kipper. We're bringing in the Kipper for a bit more detail, beloveds, on these connections involving love. Love of your vocation, love of another. Let's just see as the Kipper gives us the deeds. First out, we have concern, but it is in reverse. And it is a master number, 33. You know what that means, beloveds. When this occurs, we ring the bell over here. So do prepare yourselves at this time, especially if you are wearing earbuds. You may want to, or a headset, reduce the volume a bit. Sometimes this bell can sound a bit obnoxious. And look at the energy rolling already. Like, all I did was pick it up. In the count to 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So, because this is in reverse, this is already telling me that our concerns are fading away, beloveds. I don't even have to look at the book. I feel it. In reverse, concern. In reverse. Let's see what's at the bottom. The Journey card in the upright. This could be a literal journey. You could be going on a journey to pair up with this love opportunity, or they could be on a journey towards you. And it doesn't have to be a literal marriage, but this is most certainly confirmation that it is a divine connection, a twin ray connection in terms of romance, without any concerns involved. 0 concerns whatsoever. Relationships will, of course, have their challenges, beloveds. Not everything is lollipops and rainbows all the time. Moving along. We also have the number 3 on the table again. So 333. 333. Reach for my cards here so that we can actually just have a visual. Although you can't see the cards, I know that you trust that I'm being legit. Potential. Potential. This is exactly what we're ascending towards as we transcend the ego and overcome the pain body, temper the ego, so to speak. We ascend a little bit more and a little bit more into even more potential, beloveds. We're going to place that right over where the threes are connecting. Interestingly enough, because the concern card is in reverse and then the marriage card is in the upright, the threes are connecting. So we're just going to seal the deal with that one with this 333 angel number card right over it. Like, ooh, ooh, ooh. What was that? Confirmation is what that was. Wow. I have legit no idea where that just came from. But that was confirmation. That's alchemy, beloveds. That's alchemy. You know what? We need to just go into the Kipper now so that we can move along. 3133 on the timer as I looked up. Wow. More threes. Okay. We're going to take a look at concern first. Remember that it is in reverse, which is a good thing for us. So it's legit the opposite of a catastrophe. Let's just be real. It's the opposite of a catastrophe. Love it. It's like going from lack to abundance. Yes. In the sense of lacking, no more lacking in prospects or having fear. No concerns at all of dealing with worry or pessimism involving these relationships. And now we're going to take a look at the journey card in the upright for the collective. Number 10. Obviously illustrating travel. But because this card can mean several different things, I want to make sure that I clarify a little bit more with what really stands out the most to me here. Time to step forward, leaving the old and familiar situations behind, departing for new shores. Even more confirmation. Even more confirmation that either they're moving towards you, you're moving towards them, or both. Now that song Meet in the Middle is stuck in my head. My goodness. I'm gonna have to post that in the Sissy's Spaceship Sappy Song of the Day public playlist for the collective. I'm sure I'll remember. As long as I do it right after I wrap this up, which I'm not going to do just yet. We're going to go back into the Kipper for one more pass. And then we are going to also take a look at a little bit more detail with this marriage card. There is one full pass and nothing came out. Somebody is definitely all up in their thoughts. A privileged lady. This is what happens when nothing comes out in a full pass. I start at the bottom. And it's official. Whatever it is, it's on. And we have another angel number on the table. Angel number 22. Whatever this is, this love situation, it's official. And it does not necessarily have to be according to the patriarchal, oh, you must go tie the knot in a courthouse or a chapel for it to be considered a divine union. No, this is something that was already ordained in the astrals. Straight up. Straight up. It's official. Divinely official, though. It's God ordained, beloveds. God ordained. Let's take a look at this marriage card. And then we're going to actually, the official person card is going to be the clarifier for the marriage card. So that we have 3 cards on each side here for balance. Yes, and the potential for even more of that. Number 3. It's time to enter into this relationship in private, in your job, or in other social life matters. Joining forces with someone. But it also speaks on attracting opposites. So although it's like you share enough of the same archetypes and attributes to mirror one another as counterparts, there are also enough differences between you, between the collective and the other counterparts, be it vocational or romance or any otherwise. It's like the opposites are complementary of one another. So it's like your differences are somewhat of a unconditional asset, is what I just heard. This is, yes. And I'm being guided to say, and it's been placed on my heart all morning. That song, Tale as Old as Time, I already added it to the playlist this morning because it was on my mind, and that's just how I do. That's also how I have my Akashic Smack, including affirmations and quotes that are not originally my own, but if it comes to mind and it's placed on my heart, I'm going to write it down as an intuitive note and an intuitive message, regardless of its originator, because I'm here to tell you, sweetheart, nothing on God's green earth is original anymore. We're returning to the OG. We are walking each other home. So have fun breaking the rules a little bit by breaking traditions. Some traditions. Like I said, there's no need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Not all traditions need to go. Especially in terms of self-respect and leadership. It's just situational. There's a time for this and a time for that, but also there's a time for us to lead, and then there's a time for us to allow others to take the lead in some way, shape, or form. There has to be that equilibrium. 2, 2 on the table. We're going to ring the bell in 1, 2, 3. And so it is. So the thoughts card initially represents the thoughts of a man, or of a man the questioner is interested in. And it's not touching any of the cards that would not be good for it. So it still remains a positive card. Perhaps Kipper's greatest gift. At last, a card directly addressing thoughts and matters of the mind, generally positive. Artists adrift in their vision and struggling to realize his perfect portrait of a lady. Also representing the sitter's own concerns, preoccupations, and obsessions. Can also be anyone in the collective who's just a very thoughtful person. Thinking about love and the person and feeling firmly connected with someone. It seems somewhat platonic in love matters. Also showing memories and ideas which came up with the Sword of Truth and the Six of Cups. Memories. Past revisited nostalgia with a twin ray returning. And definitely someone in their thoughts about a privileged lady. Someone who is definitely in their element of creativity. Living the good life and seeing beauty in all things. A very good, fortunate phase. It says lucky phase, but I prefer to replace lucky with good fortune. Also, no more worries, which also came out with the first deck. So we have a lot of matchy-matchy going on here. And it's official with the official person card. It's like the privileged lady is pairing up with her official person. Divine connection and counterpart, twin ray. And someone who actually loves to be festive and ceremonious. Someone who loves to have fun and be upbeat and not sit on their chair and complain all day. And it means that it's happening whether anyone else likes it or not. Straight up. Yep. It says, give the task to the official person and he will make it so. And he is going to make it so with that privileged lady. Woo! Again, be it vocation or romance or any otherwise. Now we're going to move along to the Hungarian gypsy. For a bit more detail, even more so, about anything and everything pertaining to this love session. So we have the house in the upright and the lover. The house and the lover. What's at the bottom? Marriage. So now marriage is out twice. Double confirming that it is official. Let's take a look at these cards now. Yes. It's like he wants to take that privileged lady off to this remote place, but not as a trap, as a safe haven. And a divine union, a sacred union. Not none of this boomer logic BS. We're doing away with the old way of romanticizing relationships here. Oh yes. So we have the house, the lover, and marriage. Interesting. A safe haven for these divine counterparts, be it somewhere to go to get that work done and knocked out, or be it a union that also, aside from being romantic in nature, means like a complete overhaul, including a new home, new love, and a new home. This is beautiful. And the lover obviously is the male significator. So, two different cards on the table representing a male significator who now is this official person for this privileged lady. This is nevertheless a divine sacred union coming together that is blessed by a third party. Any guesses who and what that third party is? I'll wait. It's the OG. The OG. The OG. Creator. That's right. This is beautiful. So beautiful. And per usual, because of this, behind the scenes, always, 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 there has to be that one person, that one Karen, that one, just the one who wants to crash the festivities. We'll just leave it alone from there. We are not giving that any more energy than what was just stated, because they feel like they would be at a loss due to this union. This stable union. They can be at a loss over here in their own little corner. Meanwhile, there is consistency building over here. And it's official. Once again, doubling down on it is official. At a hierophant level, what did I just say? Divinely ordained. All right, let's wrap this up with some descriptions of these divine counterparts coming in for the collective. Again, be it vocationally, romantically, or otherwise. Let's get a look at who is involved. A fashion designer or stage producer, aka artist, is involved for some of you, not all of you. Any one of these coming out are going to apply to one of you one way or the other, and the whole message is going to resonate. Someone who is either practicing or studying paralegal or law to become an attorney. Let's see what else. Someone with pierced ears. One of them can be born in April with long hair. Another one can be born in August and they have a mustache. Feeling guided to give it a shuffle again. All right, let's see what comes out now. Give us a bit more in terms of descriptions. Okay, we're going to make one more full pass. If nothing comes out, then we will grab. That was not a full pass, but it will have to do. We're going to grab from the side whatever sticks out the most, just like we always do. And we have someone who is born in July. Someone with round face and cheeks. Aww. Someone who could be involved in a secret society. That's not to say that all secret societies are bad. Especially when it's divinely ordained. I'm hearing benevolent, beloveds. I'm hearing benevolent. Divinely ordained and benevolent. Going in for more. A little more details on what's coming in for the collective. We're going to grab here because that's where it's sticking out the most. She is a blonde. But there's also a he who is a blonde. Pick it back up. Whatever else is still sticking out right here. Someone who is or is aiming to be an architect. An iron worker. Someone with short hair. Someone born in January. Someone who believes themselves to be an alpha male. An extrovert. We're doing good. We're going to wrap this up at 1 hour, beloveds. One more full pass. Nothing's coming out, so here we go again, grabbing from the side. Somebody who is VP of operations in some kind of way. She has hazel eyes, so a female with hazel eyes. He has brown hair, so a male who has brown hair. A seamstress, or someone who just enjoys needlework and other crafts and things of that nature involving like sewing, crocheting. A housekeeper. This can also be someone who just enjoys having a clean house. And he has brown eyes. So also a male counterpart who has brown eyes. All right. Now, let's bring in the Lover's Oracle, beloveds, for some love messages. Whoops. And that one fell to the floor, so you know what that means. It's coming to your door. And it is power. And we're going to bring this card into the equation as well because I used it to cover the screen and that makes it separate from the rest of the deck. This one represents new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. And power. Let me just make sure. Okay. Nobody's showing any of their bits and bobs. So, yes, power. You instinctively know what is right for you and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. Oh, and we have the forgiveness card separating itself from the deck. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. All right, one more pass, and then we're going to close these messages with a little something from beyond Lemuria for what the collective's divine counterparts from another timeline have to bring in terms of insight for these sacred divine connections. Okay, this one I'm going to have to cover a bit with my finger. But it says, if you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. 4. The heart is the gateway to the soul. All right, we're going to go over just 1 hour. So one more card from the bottom of this deck, and we're going to draw this to a close at just over an hour. Looking deep within your heart, and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Look deep within your heart, and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. And now we close with, again, what the collective's Lemurian selves on another timeline, be it ancestors or future selves or however it falls for the collective. Let's go. What your sacred, divine, Lemurian counterparts have to say to one another. And that took no time at all. Hold on. Keeping it clean and classy over here. Alright. Stepping through is the name of the card. Step in and step up to all those dreams or projects you have been resisting. Now is the time to start, even if it's just one small element of the bigger picture. No more excuses or tomorrows. Whatever you have been putting off, the universe is now pushing you to make it happen. You may feel a little outside your comfort zone, but that is where the magic is. You may need to plot a course, invent a way through, or take a leap. Break it down, allow the puzzle to come together piece by piece through the courageous act of making a start. So it's a message that if you haven't already started moving towards that divine connection, now is the time to do so. And at the bottom we have water, the overflow. And look at all the arms. Water, the overflow. The being in the picture has many hands, and yet water falls through her fingers. It blesses her in the moments it touches her radiant skin and continues on its journey. Give me just 1 second, guys. Okay, back in a flash. There was some noise going on around my dwelling space. And I also decided to bring in a little bit of cedar at the tail end of this session. Okay, back to this card. Her heart is also overflowing with love. Her eyes are filled with tears. She gracefully allows what comes through to move her without control, aligned with purpose. My bad, I was holding it entirely too high. So I have a feeling it's going to be cut off in part of the video. My apologies, you guys. Aligned with purpose, she is overjoyed to give from this limitless place, and she radiates so much light into the world. Give more from a place of overflow than obligation, even when we think we have nothing to give. Coming from a mindset of overflow creates more of what we want. Alignment. Alignment. Taking a closer look at other areas in your life other than where you may feel discouraged. Are you making decisions through fear or love? Through fear or avoidance? being encouraged back into balance. Instead of striving harder, cultivating the feeling of already having all you seek, you will be surprised at what this shift in perspective creates. And one more pass. Nothing came out, so we're just going to grab right here for 2 cards, and these are going to be our closing messages for this session. And I will be coming back for more after a brief break, because it is right around time for me to break fast. Ending it with Beyond the Mind. The mind moves us through the logistics of life so we can function in the world. However, endless mental chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering. Step outside mind-based limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Are these concerns even yours? And last but not least, I don't know if she would be considered decent, and I really hate covering her up because it covers every freaking energy wheel that is featured in the design, but just to be on the safe side, we're going to cover her up anyway. She has all of her meridians, energy wheels through this portion of her body illuminated. We'll just put it that way, okay? Yes, that part. Full Spectrum is the name of the card, if that should give you any indication. Well, at least we get to see the crown and the third eye. Stepping out of the black and white mentality of good and bad, honor the full spectrum of life and see through fresh eyes. When we judge something, we create a story about it, and often these stories are limiting. Over a lifetime, we subconsciously gather so many of these stories. Create a space of no story for the miraculous healing and crystallizing new paths. This space empowers us to know our truth and be all we are. Embrace creation in all her colors, including the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of a situation, to determine whether your stories are limiting your perspective. Let the compost of the challenges you have overcome feed the new shoots and blossoms. And boy, are they ever coming in, beloveds. That is the message. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And if you made it this far, you are a rock star. With much gratitude and appreciation from my heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings.